Good evening. Can we start the new session, please? So everybody wants to stay, please. You're welcome to stay. We have to start. I would like to present the new session, which is Araujo. Is this right? Perfectly right. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate you are here. This is going to be a very experiential session. I will try to make this as dynamic as I possibly can. My aim here is to build bridges between traditional psychotherapy and spiritual tools. Just to give you a little bit of a background, I am a psychotherapist. I have a post-graduation degree in humanistic and existential counseling, but I also have been working as a tarot practitioner for over 25 years. And I have discovered that these two activities have a lot more in common than we previously thought. So I'm here really to explore the similarities and differences between these two practices, because I think the way that traditional psychotherapy is being carried on is changing very rapidly. We have seen the emergence of new therapeutic tools like coaching, like holistic therapies coming up, and people are having more choice in adopting the therapeutic approach that suits them the best. And it's my role to keep up with the times because they are changing. And if we don't try to build bridges, we are going to be left behind. So, I have a few notes here. Just to give you a bit of my professional background, apart from counseling and as a psychic, I worked for over 12 years in the public sector. I live in England, UK, and I work with victims of domestic violence, mental health, homelessness, drug addiction, and I worked for over 20 years in the social care sector, and that inspired me to study counseling and psychotherapy, especially when I was in mental health, because I wanted to be better prepared to deal with meetings with psychiatrists and doctors. So I embarked on that course. And when I did my course, I became very interested in the similarities that I was seeing in the psychotherapeutic room with my therapeutic practice. And that is when I decided to go deeper into that on an academic level. So I did a research degree on that. Now, let me just have a look here. As you can see, I mean, probably most of you know that there is still a very huge stigma with psychics and people who work with spirituality. They are seen as unprofessional. And that is really hurtful because it's a very important job that we do for people. And it shouldn't really be overlooked, but it is. And I think that happens for a reason. Okay, it's because there is a lack of professional conduct on that by many psychics. So I started with a few questions here. What do you think is counseling or psychotherapy? Any of you would like to answer that for me?
In India, we look at it as generally allowing a person to share what is very deep within, which they can't talk about freely with people who they would be normally interacting with, which is causing them a lot of mental issues, and they want to unburden certain areas of their mind, which normally they can't talk about to a person who would understand.
beautiful way to describe, and you are absolutely right. Counseling or therapy basically is a process of exploration aiming to facilitate positive change by reflective dialogue. So the way you describe is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Anyone here has experienced therapy, counseling? Very good. Now, if any of you could describe me, what is a psychic? Has anyone here visited a psychic? Someone who reads cards or runes or crystal balls or angels? So I'm going to pass over.
And for me, is the psychic someone who is channeling information, and usually we might think it comes from a good source or place. What audiences do what? So for me, a psychic is someone who is channeling information, and usually I think people do think it comes from a good source or good place. But I think there's different variation of place. So it might not always be the right place it comes from.
Thank you very much, Maria. This is another very insightful way of describing. So, what I would say is a psychic session is an attempt to get information via someone with enhanced psychic abilities or perceptive states of consciousness, or via spiritual guidance. So basically, you are asking someone who channels or who access the higher consciousness to filter that information and reflect that back to you. And that can be done in many ways. And one of the similarities that we see in psychotherapy and psychics is that they both use many approaches. We have humanistic, existential, psychodynamic, person-centered therapy. I'm just describing a few. And in psychic activities, you have people who read tarot cards, normal cards, runes, angel cards, mediumship, where they really contact their spiritual guides, psychic astrologers, numerologists. So there is a similarity that both of them have access to a different set of tools to enhance their practice. So that's one similarity. Now, the other similarities here that I would like to invite you to reflect, okay, is that both are non-judging, or at least they should be, if they are very ethical. I cannot really judge someone who comes to me in my therapeutic practice or in my psychic practice. They come, and I can take them as they are. They have different approaches. It's usually done on a one-to-one level, both sitting, a chair, a table. It's used for personal insight, self-discovery, and self-development. So they have all that, but also they have a very important point in that they are similar. Both of them sit in a position of power. Because if I access a therapist is because they have the knowledge, the academic background, the qualifications. As you said, Maria, they are trained to offer sessions to a varied range of issues. So therefore, the therapist is someone who knows, who has the knowledge. Yeah? Some people think that they can cure, which obviously is not true. And also the psychic is in a position of power, and I would say, in my experience, sometimes even more powerful than the therapist, because there is the access to the supernatural, to the other world. So when you look to a psychic, you look to someone who's going to tell you what's going to happen in your life. Someone who has the power to predict the future. Someone who has the power to tell you what is what. That is a very powerful position, very dangerous, in my opinion. And even if you try to say that there's an equal relationship in therapy, it's not. It never will be. Because if you look for someone's services, it's because they have something that you want. Therefore, you are in the position of the seeker. So that similarity is something that I would like to explore here. So, another similarity is that the therapeutic outcomes, or the outcomes of both practices, are also very similar. Okay? And I give you an example. Before therapy was available, the name therapy, before Jung, Freud came about with all these brilliant theories and changed the world, people used to go to a shaman, a guru, a priest, the wise woman of the forest. People used to access someone with spiritual knowledge for their problems. And sometimes they still do that. There are some communities that they don't need therapy. They access that person, that enlightened person in that position. So the outcomes are very similar. The therapeutic outcomes are very similar because they offer a one-to-one connection, facilitating self-discovery, self-development, and insight. So the outcomes will be that you have hopefully gained some valuable tools to use, whether you are visiting a psychic or having therapy with a counselor or a psychologist. Okay? So, now let's have a look here very briefly on the differences that we see between the work of a psychotherapist and the work of a psychic. Anybody could give me a clue of differences between these two positions?
Psychotherapy takes more time. I think the psychic sessions could be more intensive. I think there is a difference also in that. Yeah.
On the ball. That's correct. That's totally correct. And it's here. So, but there is more to that. As a therapist, I am bound by an ethical code of a regulating body. I am talking about here of therapy in Great Britain. So if anybody has a different, is in a different country with different codes, that's fine as well. Okay, but in Great Britain, I can only practice psychotherapy if I am a member of the British Association of Counseling and Psychotherapy. And I have to have insurance, and I have to attend exams every 2 years. That is called the proficiency exam. Of course, there are people who are not bound by the BACP, but I would assume they don't have many clients, because that is what it is. You have to have your registration number and abide by the British Association of Counselling and the ethical code, and you can be taken to court if you don't do that. But psychics, they are mainly bound by plain good sense, really, because you can practice as a psychic the way you like. But this is changing. This is changing. Okay? As a therapy is a professionally regulated activity, I am a professional counselor. So people see me as professional. And psychic activities are seen as non-professional. This is why some people say for entertainment purposes only. So sometimes we are seen as entertainers, really, or even wacky. Oh yeah, you were psychic. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, there's that whole range of jokes that come with the territory. As a counselor, I have access to my client's details, and I have power to contact the doctor if I want to. If I feel that the client is at risk of harm or having suicidal ideation, I can do that. But as a psychic, I don't have access to the details. They call me, we arrange a reading, they come to my practice, off they go. So I don't really know who I am dealing with. Of course, I know some people may do well, psychically, we should know. But psychics are not really like, geniuses. We don't really know everything. I have a contract with my counseling client that we attend sessions at this time, at this place, and if you cancel, you will not be refunded, and so and so. But we don't have a contract in our region, not as far as I know. Now, there is one thing the good thing that's changing, because the aim here is to create bridges, to bridge that gap. So, as a counselor, I have to do a risk assessment in my client. I have to, in the first session, we assess the risk, how are you feeling, have you ever contemplated killing yourself, or questions of that kind. Now, the good change is that as a psychic, I have the right to refuse a reading. I remember the old days when I used to do weddings and fairs, I used to read for people who were off their head. They were drunk, probably even more than drunk. But I was there, I was paid to do the fair, the party, and I was there to read people that they could be anything. But now, I can refuse to do that if someone is under the influence of substances, or if I just feel that that person is not really ready to have a psychic reading. I can refuse. I can say, look, I don't think that's good for you. I don't think that is the right moment. I think we may reschedule that. The way that I work with the cards is I offer two kinds of bridges. I don't ask any questions from my clients. I don't need that prompt. They come for me, and in the 1 hour session, I start with a generic reading, seeing where we are, here now, what the challenges could be. Then I go into a very detailed past, present, and future reading on 7 areas, which are love and relationships, emotional, financial, professional, home and environment, well-being, and spiritual. And that would be past events, why things are the way they are, present situation and future possibilities. And I always stress very carefully that I'm talking about possibilities. I am not the master of anyone's future. I don't have that power. I am just presenting you one of the thousands of possibilities that they have. And after that, I go into another region and then I open for questions. That is the way I do. Did that answer your question? Okay. So, let me have a look here. So, I can also refer a client as a psychotherapist. I can refer the client to a psychiatrist, for example. I can say, what you are presenting here is beyond my issue, my competency. So I would refer you to a psychiatrist, or I would refer you to a psychologist. But as a psychic, who I can refer to? I don't know, the client just called me on the region right now, but I can. That is also changing. Because good ethical psychics, they have a list of helpline services that they can give to their clients, such as Samaritans in the UK for prevention of suicide, death advice if they have financial stresses, women's aid for women suffering any form of abuse. So psychics today, they are up in their game. And they can refer, they can say, look, I think you should access this or that. But we cannot really formally refer. But we can still refer. And in the UK, if anyone is presenting the risk of suicide, you don't need to be a psychic to get that phone and say, I know someone who is, at risk. You can do that. But you should ask permission from your client first and, express your concerns for their well-being. What I would say is never really omit help if someone needs it. Now, self-disclosure, that is a big thing, okay? Because that is an ethical consideration. As a counselor, I cannot really disclose my details, my Facebook, my pictures, or I cannot really. As a therapist, I am a blank space that the client can project whatever they want to project. But as a psychic, I have my Facebook page, and some people befriend clients. I don't do that. That's something I learned from my therapeutic practice. But you can, as a psychic, you can self-disclose even because most of clients come to your house, which in itself is a huge self-disclosure because they come into your space. So this is one point of contention that I would invite you to reflect. Is it a good idea that a psychic self-discloses to a client? Is this okay? It can be okay, but depends on the self-disclosure. Depends on the self-disclosure. There is a very fine line between disclosing something like, oh, I feel really hot, the weather, or that, and someone saying, my husband is very violent with me, and then psychic saying, oh yes, I had experienced that myself. It could be okay, but it's dangerous. Because you are in a position of power. And you don't really know, the person you are dealing with. You may have all the intuition in the world, you may have access to all the spiritual guides, but who is in front of you is a human being that you don't know. And another difference is that, as you said, is that in psychotherapy, the client usually comes for many sessions. In a psychic reading, many times the client comes only for one session, just one on and off. So you don't really know, you only know what that person is saying to you, and that may be their perceptions. My sister doesn't like me, that maybe this is a moment of upset, a moment of projection. So you need, careful on that. Let's have a look here. So now, this is when the issues become really complex, because that is when the differences are getting bigger, okay? For example, I really invite you to bring your comments, because I don't want to be talking all the time here, but I would like you to bring your comments and your input, because this is part of my development too. I need your help to enhance my practice. This is what I'm doing, because I need your input too. For example, psychotherapy offers the client total right of privacy. This is a paramount in any psychotherapy intervention, is that the client has the right of privacy, and that confidentiality can only be broken if they are at risk. But as a psychic, you don't do that, do we? Because we ask, well, some people ask. I don't do that because of what I'm going to say. Asking for people's testimonials, asking for people's reviews, taking pictures with clients, taking pictures with celebrities. Is this okay? Is this okay? That the psychic asks the client for a testimonial? Or a psychic asks a client, let me take my picture with you, and can I put that on my website? So here I am with a very rich so-and-so, or I am in this party here, hey ho. So is this okay?
No, it's not. I don't read the mind, but basically this is related to the privacy of the person, and there is a high comfort, factor in not disclosing that you are going to a psychologist or a psychotherapist. So that has to be respected at all points of time.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, and this is an area that I have clashed with many psychics over the years, because my opinion, and sometimes I can be very Latin in my temperament. I am from Brazil, so, I can get a little bit heated up in the argument, not maliciously. But I classify that as tool marketing and exploitation. Simple as that. As simple as that. If someone comes to you to a psychic reading, that privacy should be respected. Because you are in a position of power. So what I offer in order to, because people have to make a living, and there is the other side too. How can people say that you are good enough? Well, if you are good enough, you don't need people to say that you are. That's as simple as that. But sometimes clients want to say what they think. That's okay too. So what I do in my case is that I do have a tarot Facebook page, which is only about tarot cards, and if they want, they can go there and put their reviews. But I never ask. Never ask. They go there and they put their reviews. Respecting a client's privacy should be paramount, and it is exploitation. It's too marketing, because the process becomes about you, not the client. What you want to say really is, look what a great psychic I am. I am reading for this famous person here. Hey, oh, I am celebrity psychic. There are no celebrity psychics. There are psychics. It's as simple as that. You don't say celebrity psychologist. Do you say that? You don't say, celebrity doctor. That is tacky. You have that in television, but that is, it's unprofessional to classify people that way. So, another thing that is a point of contention here, but I think that is an interesting one, is that as a therapist, I cannot, if you are my therapeutic client, I cannot take referrals from your friends, your family, or no. I don't want to meet your mom, I don't want to meet your cousin, I don't want to meet your friend, Sally, no. So, as a therapist, I cannot take referrals from your friends. You cannot say, oh, Michelle is a great therapist, you go on her. No, I can't. Because of confidentiality and conflict of interest. But as a psychic, you come to me, you like me, and you say, wow, I'm going to refer you to my friend, she's going to love you. Is that okay? That's okay. I think that is okay. And why is that? Because you are in a non-professional position. Because that doesn't offer risk to the client. Okay? Always think about the risk. Always think about the risk. If I am having therapy with a client and they matter, what is the risk? It's huge. Unless it's group therapy, that's different. Family therapy, that's different. That's another discussion. But individual therapy, that would be very dangerous. But as a psychic, okay, because it's a different service and people refer their friends to you, that's fine. Yeah? I think that's okay. So, some things are okay. Not everything is horrible. Now, a psychotherapist should be non-leading, which means that you shouldn't really be taking account or suggesting, leading, telling people what to do. This is not what a counselor is about. As you said, is a tool for facilitating self-discovery and hopefully positive change. But as a psychic, some psychics do that. They do guidance and advice. They tell, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. Is this okay? Do you think that this is okay? Any input on that?
If they've received a message directly from their source that offers advice, do they need to pass that on? They should not pass on information that is their human advice. That's not what it's meant.
That's different because it's passing a message. It's not you personally giving them advice. Because when you pass a message, you are relating a message where the person can take it or not. But as a psychic, if you give people advice, with your husband, do this, do that, what happens is that in a way, you can take away the client's self-responsibility. Okay? It's a quick one, but the way you said is very different because you said, if I receive a message, I will relate that message. That is okay because you are not saying, I say in my car that you should do this, this, and that. You are giving a message. Don't shoot the messenger. Yeah? But it's a dangerous one to give people advice because first, you don't know them. Second, uh, there is maybe a hidden agenda here. That is the danger when you do that, is that if you give people advice, you give them advice, and it goes really well, and that is great. Would you be taking credit for that person's achievement? Would you, that's the danger, is when you give advice to people. I personally don't do that. I can explore. Sometimes people say, okay, should I leave my job? That's an open question, inviting a needing response. So what I would say is that, okay, let's explore in the cards what happens if you leave the job and what happens if you don't leave the job. Power to you, because I would not be telling people what to do. Because if they leave the job and it goes badly, look at her, she told me to leave my job and look where I am now on the bridge. That's the worst case scenario. The good case scenario is that it goes very well, and are you in deep down, are you taking responsibility for your client's achievements? Look, I told her to change her job and she's doing very well. Of course I told her that. So this is a reflective practice. I am inviting reflection here on whose agenda is this. Again, there's nothing to say that you cannot give people advice, but there is this psychic work. If everybody works on a different way, because there is not a serious regulating body yet that can say this is this, because it's a spiritual practice, it's a bit different. But is this agenda serving you or the client? That's a question that we could always ask. And if the client is ready to receive that guidance and advice, because sometimes people are in a very vulnerable position, and they can project everything on you because you are in that position of I'm a psychic, I know everything. So, is this okay? Did I answer your question? Is that okay?
I don't know that I have a question.
Right. So I
Just
think
my opinion.
that's okay. So now, what I would like to do, that I think it could be interesting, I would do an exercise, okay, a 10-minute exercise here, that I will take the table and I will do psychotherapy session. This is going to be a safe session. This is only a snapshot of psychotherapeutic practice, and I will do followed by a 10-minute psychic session. Okay? And please, Maria, you are going to be the person. So, sure. I'm just going to organize that. So basically, this is for us to reflect the differences and the similarities of both practices and what they entail. Yeah? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be totally safe. We are not going to talk about private matters. It's just going to be a quick demonstration. So that's okay if I can have 2 chairs and a table. And if someone can just time, yes, thank you so much. Time 10 minutes so we can have that. Thank you.
It's okay. I know we would take the chance. No, it's amazing attitude. Now that no.
Interesting. Somebody, they haven't talked about this before. She just asked me.
Okay, Maria, here we are. I know we had spoken previously on the phone, and you would like to have some counseling. Just really to give you some information about the process. I offer counseling on a weekly basis. We would have to have a contract where I would be discussing confidentiality issues, that I would be contacting a doctor if I feel that you are at risk of harm. If you don't come to your session and you don't alert me within 24 hours, it's not understandable. Are you okay with that?
Can you hear without the microphone? Yes, we can. You? For the camera? Oh, yes.
Okay. So, Maria, how are you feeling today?
There's a lot of movement going on in this room right now.
Okay. What I am really feeling here is the distraction because of the movement. How do you cope with distractions?
Well, that's a good question. Distractions in general. It's the opposite of focus in Buddhism.
What is it feeling when you have distraction?
So distraction is more, it keeps my attention in this dissipated mood. And so it becomes just lack of focus. So it just take my attention off where in different directions.
And what means to you to be out of focus?
Out of focus. Well, that's a problem with it because we want to have focus in our life. As you said, everything, right? So.
Right, so this is something that we can work on because your need for focus may reveal the need for something else. Because if you feel distressed when you don't have focus, that may be an underlying reason for that I'm sure we can explore in our next session. Thank you, Maria, and I see you next week.
So now we are going to a 5-minute psychic session because I want to finish this in time and I want the process to be almost 20 minutes. Okay. Right. Somebody, how are you? That is lovely.
Yeah, it is. It's super fun. I mean, there's a lot of fun out there.
It is. Lovely. Oh, I love that.
I love it.
Such a privilege.
Yeah, it is. Very much.
Okay, so Maria, we are going to have a very brief reading here, okay? And
I want to have a look at
of course you can. Let's have a look. Let's go for it. Okay. Of course, circle with that, just because that is when we connect. Circle all the way back. They pass the line into your head.
Sometimes this doesn't like, and you have to say,
Oh, but that's the only way of working. That is okay. So Maria, I want you now to cut the cards into two. Skip the cards. Get the cards. Do you choose one or two? Okay. As I said, it is just a snapshot. Yeah. Like ladies. Okay, Maria, first of all, what I am sensing is that this is a period of reassessment. I am sensing across professionally, financially, two different paths coming up here that we have to evaluate your choice if we should go this way or that way. Okay? Why is that? Because this is you balancing your possibilities. There is an element of duality. You can do the scales, the money, the material, the scale. So I would say that there will be professional decisions for you. Okay, changes as well. You could be evaluating geographical changes. This could be a work change, a home change. There is something here that involves movements going backwards and forwards. What I am sensing here from your past, Maria, there was a period of endings. Okay, the end of the leader. You ending something. You coming to the end of a long period here. So you are in a period of transition now that you are starting something new, and this is the crossroad. There is a sense of you really not being much of a teamwork. You are more of a leader, okay? It must be hard for you to work with many people on a teamwork, but you come out very nicely, you are also. I would say that emotionally here you are in a stage of development, finding what you want, what you really want. There is your vulnerable, perhaps your vulnerable area here would be your back in your spine, and you should be careful with that. If possible, I'm not saying there is a problem, but this could be a problem in the future. Now, what I am saying is a lot of spiritual activity. Because you have the moon, dreams, premonitions, feelings of your intuition being very high, but also you question people's reasons, their motivations, what they are about, whose loyalties. I would say that there is a possibility of a conflict with other people here, or in situations, okay, where you feel lack of trust, lack of transparency, or betrayal. I think you will address that very successfully, and you will move on. Because there is a breakdown of structures here where you leave a structure and you follow your own. You will be working by yourself and working on your own. I know you have been doing that, but I am saying this evolving towards another level now. Okay? I see also travel, 2 or 3 different groups that are coming and it's working. Okay, so this is a very quick snapshot. Are you happy with that? Okay, that makes sense to you? Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Maria. Now we can just leave Maria here in the hot seat because I wanted to ask her a few questions, which is part of this exercise. So, Maria, one thing that I would like you to inform us, how did you feel in the psychotherapy, in the psychic sessions?
In the first session, I felt a bit frustration. It was taking time. It felt like an old school of something that I left a long time ago, and maybe that caused also lack of energy and distraction was a response to the feeling of frustration.
What were your feelings about this psychic session?
And that was fun. And one could see it was fun. It was light energy. It was there were curiosity, possibilities, and I'm amazed how much truth. Like I'm I'm signing under everything that you were saying there. So it was accuracy was really great.
So, what I am hearing from you is that the psychotherapy was very cold and clinical, old school, and the psychic was more human, fun, there was more engagement.
Well, and it's interesting because what came up in your card is the same thing I'm representing when it comes to the view of science, the view of business, and bringing on the feminine way of living. So it became very clear to me how the psychotherapeutic session was something like an old school, something I would like to choose this. Yeah, and yes.
Thank you, Maria. Please let's give her a round of applause. Very brave to expose herself here, but obviously I tried to make this as safe as I possibly could. Yeah? But Maria is totally right. Psychotherapy is clinical, is cold, and it is meant to make you uncomfortable. That is the point of psychotherapy, is to press that button, to release that button. And tarot is fun, isn't it? We started by talking about the weather, it's great, so it's fun. So what I would like to say, because we are obviously at the end of the session, is that none of them can offer miracles, but both can be very insightful. None of them have all the answers, but both can help you to find them. Yeah? It's just to find a balance. And what I wanted to explore here really was the similarities and the differences. And we are going to build those bridges. It has started already. I hear that Anna is very proactive in giving a more professional polish to tarot readers in Sweden. It's a great initiative because that's what we need. We need to step our game and be more professional. Yeah? In psychotherapy, the old psychotherapeutic style is slowly dying. People are not responding to the same old, same old. It has to be recycled, refreshed. Sure.
So here's how I'm seeing it is, okay, so we're not the same human beings as we were 50 years ago because they have a new consciousness. There's new generation growing up and the level of consciousness looks totally different compared to when people grow up. Are you feeling for that? So I'm feeling, so here it became really clear how the old model, the old school of how we were doing things, solving problems, which was the base of science, to clean out all metaphysics and make the science with big S something that we could search for. And that was in, say, also looking for problems. And I'm thinking we're entering a new era here. We will see a new kind of science looking for possibilities instead of solving problems, looking for possibilities. And it's a whole new way of language and being, and new methodologies must be part of that, I think.
Thank you very much, Maria. And I would like to end this with a surprise. I didn't bring a jar, but I see a cup over there. So if you can write your names very briefly on a piece of paper, I want the name on the jar. I will invite you to pick a name, and the name that is picked, I will be quite happy to give a complimentary reading via Skype once I get back to England. It's my way to thank you for coming to my session. I really appreciate your attention, your focus, and your presence. And it was great to share with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I want all the names in a cup.
Just name. Oh, not an email address? Do you need the email address?
You need name and an email address or
No,
something?
I can take it once I give my card. They may want to see it later because then I don't give my card.
Yeah.
Of course.
I can do it.
Okay, so here we go. Everybody here? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose one, and then I will give you my card, and you can get in touch with me, okay? So, right? 1, 2, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So, who is this person? Susie. Right. There you go. That's an excellent. So, Susie, we exchange emails, okay? When I get back to England, because obviously here the conference is not the right environment, but I will be super happy to give you a session on Skype, complimentary, so we can. Only Skype is okay because I can see the client. There is a connection. No, but I cut the card and they choose it. So Susie, thank you for that. That's good. I hope you will enjoy. And I really appreciate this. I really hope you got something out of this. Okay, to reflect on your practices, to go out there and make changes, because the work we do as a psychic is important. As you see, people respond more to psychics than to psychotherapy. I have been saying this, and I think Maria's session is evidence that that happens. Okay, of course. Questions?
It's fascinating because in India, I think psychoanalysis is just psychotherapy is just coming in the last maybe 2 decades. We send out people for psychotherapy. Otherwise, we were all into Ayurvedic chakra healing, and it was accepted that we are not just physical and mental entities. We can have energy, and that has to be attended to. And we all, at least my stage of life, we all went through with our grandmothers doing Ayurveda, and today I do chakra healing after going through all these mental and physical doctors who just charge a whole lot of money and leave you worse than when you began. So I completely am happy that it's going to be coming in, and I do these tarot cards on astrology from a Western writer who gives it online, and he has tarot readings for my date and times. So it's fascinating. I'm so happy, and I really wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any more questions?
I don't have a question, but a comment.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hear it. So,
I just love that you are building bridges between therapy and tarot card reading or psychic. I think it's really, really valuable. And what we did in Sweden was an organization for certifications for tarot readers, and it's a Scandinavian organization. And I think all these traits psychotherapy, coach, psychic needs to be, I don't know how to say it in English. They need to be professional, and it's a process, and I think it started. So I want to thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, so maybe this is the time for us to end, but the end is never the end. We both continue in our journeys, and I hope to be here next year. Thank you. Thank you so much for facilitating this.
Thank you, Michelle.
And if you allow me, I would like to say that this gap is not only a professional gap, I think it's also a previous gap. The psychotherapy has built itself up as a science, and the psychic especially has a long history of shamanism, and it has a lot of power, so there is a lot of antagonism there, and a lot of prejudices. And I think to bridge these prejudices is very precious in itself, not only for the profession. Thank you.
So true. You're ready? Yes. Where's the camera? So, anybody, can you just grab it from the lady?
Yes? Yeah. So 3 cheers for WAF and the women.